Competing with the best teams in Marvel Strike Force can be very difficult if you don't have the best teams built yourself. So in this video, we're going to make it easy for you to beat the current meta. We're counting down the best teams in the game right now. These are who you should be building at the end game and who you should be working towards if you're approaching the end game. So if you're ready for all of that, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin and I hope you're having a great day because in this video, we're going to count down the best teams in the game right now. Hopefully this makes it easier for you to determine which are the teams that you should be building, which are the teams you should be avoiding. But before we get to this countdown, if this is your first time here on the channel, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Countdown videos like this, reveal videos, question answer videos, gameplay videos, everything help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But before we start with this countdown, let's talk about 2 characters that are just so valuable that you should run, don't walk to get these characters. And the first obviously is Apocalypse. So yes, it does take a little bit to get him. You need your horseman teams. You need some of these original characters, not just at gear tier 17, but also ISO 8 level 5 blue to get the full big boy Apocalypse. So it does take some work, but as soon as you have access to that, get Apocalypse. He's going to be a game changer. The other character that you need to get, obviously you probably know this already, is the Dark Dimension 6 reward character, Super Skrull. Get a bunch of characters in gear tier 18 for this unlock, and as soon as you unlock these 2 characters, the game will change. But let's talk about some of these teams and my ratings for them. Now, obviously, these teams, they do need to have value in multiple game modes, and for me, Arena's always been number 1 because that's your major source of power cores. Raids are also valuable because that's something you do every day. I think for myself, Cosmic Crucible has a little bit more value than War, but those are the 2 remaining game modes that these teams are going to be ranked on. So let's go forward with this countdown. And starting off with a countdown, coming at number 10 this month is the new Avengers. You're building this team for War. You're not going to get a lot of use from this team outside of that. There will have a little bit of use in Cosmic Crucible, but main use of this team is War. And if you don't have Green Goblin Classic unlocked, this is one of the teams that you're going to need to unlock Green Goblin Classic. They are very, very strong. Like I said, in War, you can use them on War defense or offense. Normally, when I'm using them on offense to counter a new Avengers team on defense of my own, but they can counter teams like the Superior 6. They can counter Gamma if you're using them on offense, and it takes a lot for your opponents to beat them if you have them on defense. So if you are into War, this is a great team to start building. The main character on this team, I think, is going to be Tigra because she is a taunter and she gives out a bunch of death proofs, evades. Once Tigra is down, the rest of the team falls apart. So Tigra's the main person on this team, but yeah, this is a very, very valuable team in War. And coming in at number 9 spot this month is the Darkhold team. Very, very old team. They're still one of the horseman teams that's required for Apocalypse. So you do need to build them if you don't have Apocalypse yet. And they will give you a little bit of value in War. If you place them on defense, they're beaten pretty easily by a team like a Gamma team or A-Force or even an old school Underworld team. They can be beaten, and they're pretty much a staple on defense in Cosmic Crucible, although they do have some pretty hard counters that you could use on them. But the reason that they are number 9 this month is you got Morgan Le Fay. She got her value increased because one of the counters to one of the defensive teams in Arena with Black Knight is to use Morgan Le Fay to lean into the bleeds, making use of the Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes. So this team did get a little bit of a resurgence recently with the introduction of Black Knight, and they're still a very, very good team, but yeah, mainly this team is on the list because of Morgan Le Fay. Next team on the list is the Masters of Evil. The main mode that this team is going to be dominant in is Cosmic Crucible. This was a team designed for Cosmic Crucible. Kang is the main person on this team. Without Kang on this team is just a mediocre team. But Titania has value with a very early ability block and Disrupted. Moonstone has value in Cosmic Crucible, has 2 stuns there. Ultron is usually replaced on this team, and Absorbing Man is one of the characters with a pre-match taunt. So very, very good team. Again, mainly Cosmic Crucible, you're going to get your value from this team. Sometimes I still see Kang used in Arena, and this team is split apart in War and not really using the raids as well. So this is mainly for Cosmic Crucible, but Kang, I think, is going to have a lot of value beyond Cosmic Crucible, beyond the life of the Masters of Evil. But yeah, they still have a lot of value because Cosmic Crucible is a very important game mode, but Kang is the main character on this team. And another meta team in Cosmic Crucible is the New Warriors. This team is used for a lot of the problem defenses in Cosmic Crucible. The reason they get a nod over the Masters of Evil is because they're supposed to be the defensive wall for this season of War. Although, even though they are supposed to be the defensive wall, still countered pretty easily by a team like Infinity Watch or Death Seed. You could even use the Masters of Evil against the New Warriors in War, but the reason that they are on this list is because of Cosmic Crucible. Very, very good. They could take out a bunch of teams in Cosmic Crucible. You could use this team against Gamma team on defense, against a Secret Defenders team on defense, a bunch of things you could use this team for, but mainly Cosmic Crucible. Now, you're not going to get a lot of plug and play value from any of these members. I think the two that have the most long-term potential is Gwenpool and Firestar, but I do say potential because, yeah, once this team is out of Cosmic Crucible, out of War, they're going to have a very little use. So build them for right now, but I'm thinking within the next 3 to 6 months, this team will be fading out of into obscurity. All right, and now we're getting to more versatile teams with the introduction of the Superior 6. Obviously, these guys dominate in Cosmic Crucible. They could take out a lot of the problem teams like Extreme X-Men in Cosmic Crucible. Some other meta teams in Cosmic Crucible, these guys can handle them. Also, because of the reworks to the entire Sinister 6, these guys are very good in War as well. Usually you're splitting these teams up into 2 separate teams for War. Although for myself, I just make them into one dominant War team overall. But yeah, Green Goblin Classic is the leader of this team, but Kraven has a lot of value. Lizard has a lot of value as a protector, and the other legendary character on this team is Doc Ock, who can summon usually a Shocker, but can summon other Sinister 6 members as well. Very, very strong. Cosmic Crucible and War is where you're getting your main value from this team. Not a lot of value in the raids or arena. And the Pegasus teams brings our first Incursion Raid Solution team on this list. The reason these guys are on this list is because they have value outside of the raids as well. But yeah, this is the team to solve the tech section of the Incursion Raids, something that you and your lines are doing every single day. So just because of that, very, very valuable team. But they also have some value outside of the raids as well. In Cosmic Crucible, if you see a Gamma team, this team easily beats a Gamma team. Not very good on defense in War or Crucible because Eternals can pretty easily beat this team if you see them on defense. But let's say your Eternals are used up in War, you see this team on defense, they can be pretty problematic, especially if you aren't able to take out Rescue because she could bring characters back to life. She could remove debuffs from the team. So very, very strong team. And yeah, you're not just going to get value in the raids with them, but also a little bit of value outside of the raids as well. And our next raid solution teams comes from the Extreme X-Man. This is a team designed to solve the mutant section of the Incursion raids, and they do it very, very well. Huge damage from Gambit, huge damage from Cyclops, huge damage from Sunspot. Even Nightcrawler. Forge is the team that makes them tick outside of the raids as well. If you can take your Forge ability block him on Cosmic Crucible defense or even War defense, you can kind of control this team. If Forge does his ability, gives him a bunch of charges, and can bring characters back to life, it could be a problem. So while Gambit is the main character of this team for damage, Forge is the one that you got to take out. Nightcrawler also is very, very tricky with his ultimate as well. You get that combo of the Gambit ultimate, Cyclops ultimate, Nightcrawler ultimate, all going off. You're probably very lucky if you survive. So yeah, very, very good team. Raid team, Cosmic Crucible team, War team, very good in any of those 3 game modes that you're going to use them in. But the top raid solution is the Bio Solution, the newest Hive Mind team. And the reason these guys are rated a lot higher than the Extreme X-Men or Pegasus is because of Void Knight. Void Knight does have value in Arena right now and is the solution to a lot of teams, including teams that have Black Knight on them. Void Knight is also, it pulls the enemies together and it gives them ability blocks as well. Ability blocks everybody in the raids, that primary target outside of raids, and that's why this team has so much value. And Carnage is passive. If you get enemies into that red health, you're gonna get a lot of turn meter from this Hive Mind team. So yeah, very, very good. Not just a raid solution, but also useful for Void Knight in Arena, and very, very good in Crucible as well. They're a problem on defense, but very good to counter some teams with Black Knight on offense as well. And yeah, they're very, very good in War. So yeah, very, very good team. I would build this team. This is probably the top raid team right now. And the number 2 team on this list is so good. This full team is not even in a game yet, but the reason this team is here, Black Knight, so good in arena, it does deserve a mention. Now, when this full team is here, well, it's going to be a pretty problem team in Cosmic Crucible. We know they're going to be a problem team in War on defense, and they can take a lot on offense and War. This is going to be the top War team when they are fully in the game, offense or defense. And yeah, Black Knight does make a big problem for all of your opponents in arena, in Cosmic Crucible, whatever game mode you're going to use them in. Not really too much in the raids because that is what the Hive Mind is here for, but out of time team, very, very strong. And the top spot in Marvel Strike Force this month is the Secret Defenders, mainly because of Black Cat, Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, and Miss Marvel Hardlight. Some combo of these 3, either all 3 of these or some combo of these, are going to be involved in the arena meta for a long, long time. Photon is great in War. Doctor Strange, normal Doctor Strange, is not very good at all. But yeah, these characters, very, very good together. Now, as far as their value in arena, these 3 characters have it. Not too valuable in the raids. You're not going to use these characters in the raids, but these 2 characters also used very strongly in defense of Cosmic Crucible last season. I think people are still trying to figure out where to use these guys. I think they're more used on offense this season in Cosmic Crucible. And yeah, if you see them on defense in War, it usually takes another Secret Defenders to beat them, or Super Skrull, or Secret Defenders with Undying or something like that. Usually they're very, very tough to beat. So in pretty much all game modes except the raids, this team is going to be valuable. And again, this team, these 3 characters here, Photon's more of a War character and Doctor Strange no value, but Ghost Rider, Robbie, Black Cat, Miss Marvel, Hardlight are going to take you very far in the meta today. So those are my top 10 teams in Marvel Strike Force today. There are a few other honorable mentions that I do want to mention. Gamma is still one of the top teams in War. Very, very good on offense. And if you see them on defense, there's more things that could beat them on defense, but they're still dominant in offense on War. Nowhere is still one of the top War teams as well. Very good on offense and very tough to beat on defense. And I do got to mention the Bifrost team because they are the mystic solution to the raids right now. So those 3 teams are probably 11, 12, and 13. You need to build them as well. But that is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on this list. Do you agree, disagree with these selections? Are there other teams that you feel should be on this list, or some teams that you should be removed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hopefully this video did provide you some value in determining who you want to build, and if it did, leave it a like. It is free for you and it tremendously helps out the channel. And if you want to check out what are the best plug and play characters in Marvel Strike Force today that you can use on a lot of different teams, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.